Morning and welcome back to the Home Renovation Experts. Steve here yet again. I'm always here. I don't think I ever leave, but I am back. So cracking on with this composite joist setup, ready for the decking boards to go down. You can see there, coming along nicely. Just for those of you who didn't see yesterday, I'll quickly recap. So basically, I've worked out where the actual deck boards are going to lay. So I've worked out my centre mark, and then across every joint, I know there's going to be a joint. You've got double joists, so that basically the board will fit and sit right through the center beautifully, so every end is supported, so there's no dips, no wibbles, no wobbles, no, couldn't think of a W thing to say there, but yeah, basically it won't be moving all over the place, which is good. Plan today is going to be obviously continue. I'm going to continue putting in these last few runs, so I'm going to put in last few like joist supports, joist hangers across, and then get these all in. I'll show you in a bit more detail now how I actually get these aligned and stuff, because I can't remember, I don't think I showed you yesterday exactly what I do, but I'll do one live, inverted commas. You'll be watching it recorded. It's recorded live though, so I'll do that in a minute. And then basically it's going to be then leveling up the whole system, so making sure that where these are quite badly twisted and bowed as they come from the factory, holding them up where they need support in the middles and stuff like that, making sure it's all level through and looking bloody delicious. So let me get off, get set up a bit better, and then drink a cup of tea that the client's made, and then I shall crack on. Hello. I'll put it on a tripod to make this a bit easier. Hopefully you'll be able to see it a bit better. So basically, when you're putting these things on, you obviously, the box of screws is a 40 by 50 mils, by 5 mils, sorry. Little pilot, beautiful. Impact driver or normal driver, doesn't really matter. Load a screw on it, because that'll just save you a bit of faffing in a second. And make sure everything is in reach, very important. So when you're putting joist hangers on, if you just try and do it blind, it's a bit like, you want this to really fit like nice and snug, so you don't want it to be like screwed on so it's all wide, you want it to be like that. Also, you want the level to be good when you kind of put the actual the joint support in. So basically, the quickest and easiest way I've found is to actually drop it in there. Got a pencil mark for the centre of the joist just there. You probably won't be able to see that, but that doesn't matter. Put it on where you kind of want it. Pin that around it. And then basically, hey, look at that. I didn't realise, look, there's no screws. That's the first one I've ever seen like that. Oh, I'm glad I've done a video of that. So anyway, here's another one I prepared there. It's actually got holes in it. Very, very useful holes. I love it. Right, anyway. So basically, pin it in place, pin it so you're gripping it so it's nice and tight around the actual joint. Pilot one hole on right hand side. So I'll do that side just because I'm right-handed, so it makes it a bit easier to get the first bit on. And now you see why it's easier to have the screw already on the bit. So I then load up another screw onto the posi head. Line up this side to make sure I'm happy with where it's sitting. It's nice and level at the top. Pilot another hole. Again, you only just want to pilot it a little bit. You ain't got to go all the way through. You ain't got to go mad. See, and this is what happens. But yeah, you just have to be a bit fiddly with it sometimes. Done. And now you can see, once that's in, beautiful, easy peasy. I also leave that bit in while I just quickly pilot these ones. Just because it keeps the shape. So if I took that out and then sort of screwed these ones in, sometimes it pulls the joist hanger top in and you can't get your joist in, which is a bit of a pain. So leave it in there. It certainly won't hurt, but it'll do you a few favours. That's going to be all right. Done. It's in the perfect position. Done every time. Now, like I said yesterday's video, these ones are actually too tall. So these are actually 50 by 50. These are 50 wide by 65. But it doesn't matter. What I'll do is before I put the deck boards down, I'll quickly run along with my 5-inch metal, what do you call it? Can't think of the word. Chops makes things shorter. Disc cutter, thank you. Cut that across there, done, chop the top off, easy peasy, that won't take long at all. And that is how you put these on, ready for your joists. Oh yes, there you go. That is all now, those joists in and looking very, very nice. That is now the size of the blade that's left over. It wasn't a brand new blade, but it wasn't old. I've done like a good few cuts, but yeah. So that now means, obviously, that I have now cut down all the metal joists. And so now they're all flush with the tops, which is beautiful, all the way through there, all the way through there. So now it's time to do the noggins. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna run 3 rows of noggins. So in basically a third. What I'll end up doing is, I'll end up putting a third, wherever the third is, here, and I'll just offset one here, and offset one, and offset one, and that'll just be so I can get some fixings, makes it a bit easier, but I'll show you that as well, because that's why I do these videos, so you can learn stuff and you can crack on, do it yourself. Nothing that I do is rocket science, okay? I'm not a brain surgeon, it's just putting things together. So yeah, if you've got some basic tools, you can do it yourself. Easy, bit of hard work, bit of sweating, done. But I'll get some noggins now done. So what I've done is, I've marked halfway through here is 144 centimeters. So I put a mark over there, and then put my level on just so I know which one to mark, and put a level mark on there. Put the level on it like that, and then between all those bits, I've just then run a pencil mark all the way through. So I now know that's my center. So I'll put 1, 2, 3, every alternate, and then I know when I come to these ones, I'll just offset it a bit. And that'll be it done, but that's my center mark done. I'll do the thirds in a second as well. Do one section at a time for the level width and work my way back in that direction. Noggins everywhere. And there are quite a few. Oh, voila. So I've got so far down now. You know, this is one of those parts where people can scrimp, and a lot of people do. They don't put in enough. They think, oh, do you know what, bugger it. I'll just pin them to the center, put 1 row in. Maybe I'll just do 2, one either side. This is the fundamental part of the build, really. I mean, this is creating all your strength. This is your lattice work. It's going to keep everything together. It's going to keep it pinned. So for the sake of the extra time it takes, it does take a time because there's lots of them. It's worth doing it. It's worth doing it right now. What I've also done is, so again, like I said yesterday about like putting these in, make sure you've got the right spaces for the ability for it to expand and contract. These, when I put them in, see, they still move a little bit, yeah? So it's basically, can you see, about 1 mil gap on all of them. So the whole thing can expand, contract, do what it needs to do. So in sort of that one, that direction, we'll call it the vertical, 10 mil gap at either end. When it comes to these nogginy parts, the horizontal one, it just needs 1 mil expansion. Again, just follow the instructions for the manufacturer and you won't go wrong. Now, when it comes to actually cutting your noggins and measuring, what I normally do is, because you can tell that these are bowed and twisted so far, I'll take a measurement from this end here to there, because obviously that's the closest to that one, and that one that's nicely pinned in place. I'll take a measurement there and there. I'll do the same that end. They should be very, very, very similar. And then I'll cut all 3 to that same one, because this one, this measurement here can be pissed apart, because that thing could be bowed out that way, it could be bowed in this way. You just don't know. But what you're trying to do is create equilibrium, equality. I do like a bit of equality, but that's not what I mean, but you know what I mean. So basically even spacing through, so you're sort of knocking out any twists and bows. So like I said yesterday, when you put in the joist running in this direction full length, if it's got a bow in it, you want it to run upwards. So when your deck boards go on, they compress it and push it down, as opposed to being dipped, because that just makes life harder. Don't forget, there's a lot of weight in these, so they'll easily push that lot down, no bother at all. But yeah, but where it's kind of bowed in sort of that direction, or that direction, by putting these noggins in at the same spacing, you're correcting for that. So that's what that's all about. So take your measurements from both ends, and then put the center one for the equivalent of those 2. Should be the same. If it's like 1/2 mil out, doesn't matter. The other thing I did earlier, which I forgot to mention, was I measured from the brick wall to the end of my decking supports here. I did the same that end, taking into account obviously slightly different lengths because the way I had to build that part under the window. And this whole thing across 7.2 meters runs out in that direction by about 8 mil. Here's the thing, right? And here's the reality of it. This is never going to be perfect. Never is. It can't be, because you work with uneven levels. This is all twisted and stuff. But you try to do everything as fast, and well, not as fast, as quality as you can. Double checking everything as you go. So 8 mil across 7.2 meters is bugger all anything. It's a bit like when I kind of come to level it. There'll be parts that don't quite level or whatever, but you've got to think of the big picture. Once the boards are on, you won't notice any of that across the full level, across the whole thing. You see what I mean? So yeah, you just try and do the best you can. But yeah, I was very happy with that. So 8 mil difference between that end and that end. it is nothing. The human eye will never see it. So yeah, it's just trying to do all this stuff within tolerances, and yeah, it's good fun. So anyway, gonna crack on, get the rest of these done. Hopefully, it's time now, 2 o'clock. Another couple of hours, so I'll see if I can get those ones in, and then hopefully that means tomorrow I could be levelling it then, which would be also good fun. We'll see how far I get. Still sweaty, still hot, but there we go. Fully jointed, fully noggin, it's bloody done, isn't it really? So yeah, happy days. I was gonna say, where you can't get a drilling to like drill these angles to like screw these ones in, just L brackets on these ones, absolutely beautiful and fine. So I've got like 3 across there, because I can't get the drilling to like part it across there and then stick like a 100 by 6 mil screw in. Same applies to the other end. But yeah, very happy. So now I have the double joist ready for the placement of the deck boards, and chuffy. So that's basically a whole day's job, just like finish off those sort of runs across here and then getting all those noggins in. Like I say, worth doing right before you're here. Job done. So that is basically it for today, because it's time to go and pick up my nipper. Clearing up time. So, any questions? Ping them over. In the meantime, if you like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and if you've got any suggestions or things you think I should be doing better or changing, hit me up, because at the end of the day, this is a two-way street. I like to learn things as well. So yeah. But anyway, have a nice evening, guys and girls. Bye.